men and women of the CIA are the eyes and ears
Video
of the
of
free world.
unidentified flying objects, recorded by the U.S. military.
Here is a bulletin from CBS News. In Dallas, Texas, 3 shots were fired at President Kennedy's motorcade in downtown Dallas.
This is a CBS News special report. I'm Tony DeCopel in New York, and we are coming on your air at this early hour with breaking news. A catastrophic bridge collapse in Baltimore, and the Maryland governor has just declared a state of emergency.
Take 1 of 2 political situation in Lugansk. Document type: FOIA. Keywords: UFO Special Collection. Collection. FOIA Collection. Document number /ESDN 000-551-7681. Release decision: RIFPUB. Original classification: U. Document page count: 3. Document creation date: June 24, 2015. Document release date: January 31, 2011. Sequence number: Case number F 2010-00651. Publication date: November 5, 1990. File. Attachment size: PDF icon doc 000551761.pdf 157.27 KB. Body -000207034 unclause 3T begin message 5 serial equals 91 UN 0196 BUDN equals V class equals unclause 3T serial 91 UN 0196 B pass. Attention BBC Press. I copy to UD country USSR SUBJ. Take 1 of 2 political situation in Lugansk. Source: Moscow Literaturная Gazeta in Russian, October 31, 90 p10 text. / article by S. Kiselev, Literaturная Gazeta special correspondent for the Ukrainian SSR. Lugansk. Is separating socio-political portrait of the city in the epoch of perestroika. Today, the situation that has developed in this 500 p00 population city reminds one of a fight between a heavyweight boxer who is managed by an experienced trainer and a novice who relies for his support on the audience. There is the Conservative Oblast Soviet under the wardship of the Communist Party Oblast Party Committee, and opposing it is the City Soviet, where a strong democratic bloc has been organized. Who will win? And will the city be delivered a knockout blow if the oblast suddenly takes Lugansk in an economic blockade encirclement? A very competent public opinion poll, conducted by the Lugansk Voters Association, eloquently showed the following. 1.4% of the Lugansk residents placing their hopes on the CPSU, 5%, on new parties, and a slightly larger number of people, on strike committees. The remainder of those polled do not believe in anything. This is on the one hand. On the other hand, there is the warfare position between the RUKH, Ukrainian Republican Party, and Union of Independent Ukrainian Youth Organizations, and the CPSU. Both sides are shooting at each other from a corner. Salvos from the left, we do not believe the communists. Salvos from the right, Bandera and Petliura supporters from the left. The fight with the party apparatus that at times slips into a fight with rank-and-file communists, an effort not to let go of power that borders on hysteria of the doomed. Both sides, alas, are fighting not for something, but against someone, which, very likely, can lead to the appearance of a third force, the streets. But further, everything according to a well-known scenario: insubordination, riots, troops, a special situation, etc. Passions, it is known, get aroused. Someone wants to stir up the Russians against the Ukrainians. Somebody wants to stir up the workers against the cooperators. Lugansk residents against the miners. Miners against Democrats. It is said that unemployment is expected with the transfer to the market. This almost led in September to a miners' strike in support of the program. Of Rizhkov. And when the famous writer and economist Vasily Selyunin visited Lugansk in October, when he gave 4 lectures here about the market, on the evening before 1I.FA0IVAL. Clause 3T approved for release C00207034. Clause 3T. The Oblast Party Committee sent instructions to the VUZ propagandists. Give battle to Selyunin during his speech as someone who is attempting to destabilize the situation in Lugansk. And someone tried to give battle in general. It could have been possible to think that everything that is happening in Lugansk is occurring in almost the entire country. If it were not for one feature. Somewhere, about half a year ago suddenly, literally like a UFO, there began to appear, well, how can this be put, not quite rumors, not even conversations, but something somewhat telepathic. A kind of transmission of ideas over a distance. We do not know where the ideas were being transmitted from, but there just soon began to be known rather widely, autonomy. And then it was in whispers, autonomy. And then in a loud voice among our own, autonomy. Territorial autonomy. This splashed out onto the streets. It was suddenly recalled in Lugansk that the Donetsk-Krivorog Soviet Republic, headed by Artem, existed in 1918, and that on the laws of federation, it left the Ukraine for Russia. It was artificially created by the Bolsheviks, who naively supposed that this would save the region from the influence of the Central Rada and would prevent German occupation of the Donbas. The Republic lasted from January 30 to March 19, 1918, after which it once again became part of the structure of the Ukraine as a territorial production autonomy. And so today in Lugansk TA.LK Bason.C.4 again started about the restoration of the Donetsk-Krivorog Republic, and, above all, about territorial autonomy within the RSFSR system. Now, why this? Perhaps the fact that Lugansk Oblast, in fact, boycotted the decision of the Ukrainian parliament on the switch to Kiev time. And that it was a precursor of the fact that Lugansk is separating. Historically, the Donbas was never a part of the Ukraine, explained V. Checker, head of the philosophy department of the Lugansk Agricultural Institute and the co-chairman of the socio-political organization People's Movement of the Lugansk Area for Perestroika. Therefore, we are against the Ukrainization of our region, and we think that granting the Donbas a new economic, political, and social status would be warranted. Our movement is for autonomy within the framework of the Ukraine, of course, if the Republic signs a union treaty. And if this does not occur, then we can talk only about a change to RSFSR jurisdiction. But how in your opinion will the residents of Lugansk Oblast feel about this? We inquired. I think that more than half of the Lugansk residents will support the idea of autonomy within the RSFSR system. But here is the opinion of U. Kozovsky, a leader in the CRE organization of RUKH and an assistant professor of the philosophy department of the Lugansk Teachers Training Institute. 05/1607Z Nov BTC 00207034 number 5742 NNNNNNN